Welcome to the Body Map Explainer, unlocking the secrets within. Here, every heartbeat, every breath tells a story of life. Discover the intricate map of your body.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving right into the fascinating and, let's be honest, kind of embarrassing science behind the symphony of weird noises our bodies make every single day. From those sudden joint snaps to absolutely explosive sneezes, we are going to decode exactly what's going on under the hood. We've all been there, right? You're sitting in a dead silent room, maybe taking a crucial test or in a super serious meeting, and out of nowhere, your stomach lets out this massive echoing growl. Or worse, you accidentally let a burp slip. It's intensely relatable and, yeah, mortifying. But as we're going to see today, you really shouldn't sweat it. These noises, they're actually brilliant signs of a healthy, functioning machine just doing its job to keep you alive. To make sense of all this, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. First, your body's noisy symphony. Second, digestive rumbles and burps. Third, the science of flatulence. Fourth, sneezes, snores, and coughs. Fifth, snap, crackle, and pop. And finally, number 6, when to seek help. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this with section 1, your body's noisy symphony. Looking at this map of our built-in survival hacks, you can see that every hiccup, burp, rumble, and pop isn't just some random accident. No way. These are incredibly complex, totally normal reflexes to protect and regulate your system. Your body is just constantly managing pressures, clearing out irritants, and digesting your fuel. All that noise, it's literally just the harmless byproduct of some seriously incredible engineering. Moving right along to the first real movement in our symphony, Section 2, digestive rumbles and burps. Okay, so the next time your stomach growls, you've got to impress everyone around you by dropping this ridiculous-sounding scientific term, borboring me. It comes from ancient Greek, and it literally translates to rumble. These noises happen because, well, you've got about 30 feet of hollow intestines coiled up inside you. When gas and liquid move through those pipes via a muscle-squeezing motion called peristalsis, the sound just echoes right through the tubes. Now, what's really interesting about this whole process is that these growling sounds, they don't even come from your stomach. The noise is actually coming from your intestines as they work overtime to absorb nutrients. And the reason they get so incredibly loud when you're hungry, it's simple acoustics. When there's less food in your system to muffle the noise, the movement of that gas and fluid just echoes a whole lot louder. Moving slightly north, we hit eruction, or as we all know it, the classic burp. A burp is an absolutely essential pressure shield for your body. When extra air that you've swallowed while eating or drinking escapes super fast through the upper esophageal sphincter, it vibrates your throat tissues. If you didn't have this release, your stomach would literally stretch out painfully. It's basically a built-in safety valve. But, not all burps are created equal. Standard gastric belching is just your normal gas release from the stomach, like after you chug a soda. But supergastric belching is a completely different beast. This happens when air is sucked into the esophagus and instantly pushed right back out. It's often this subconscious, habit-based reaction to stress. Actually, it can happen up to 20 times a minute without a person even realizing they're doing it. So the crucial point here is that context definitely matters when it comes to body sounds. Let's transition smoothly deeper into the digestive tract with Section 3. The science of flatulence. Down at the very end of the digestive line, the classic sound of flatulence is entirely structural. It brilliantly illustrates how, as gas is expelled under pressure, the anal sphincter vibrates exactly like a brass instrument's embouchure. Honestly, the tighter the opening and the faster the air, the higher the pitch. But here's the most fascinating part of the whole shebang. Over 99% of that gas, which is made up of nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and methane, is completely 100% odorless. So where does all this gas actually come from? Tracking the common culprits here, sure, some of it is swallowed air, but a massive portion is manufactured right inside you. Undigested complex carbs from things like beans and broccoli, unabsorbed lactose, and certain artificial sweeteners travel down to your colon. And once they're there, your gut microbiome goes to town and ferments them. You're basically walking around with a massive, highly efficient bacterial fermentation factory right inside your gut. Which brings us to this mind-blowing number, 1,491. That's the upper end of the average person's daily flatus volume in milliliters. Think about that. You process a tremendous amount of gas every single day. And a quick pro tip, Holding it in isn't going to make it magically disappear. It just delays the inevitable, which usually results in a much louder event later on. Moving on to our second movement, the respiratory winds. Section 4, sneezes, snores, and coughs. First up in the respiratory chest area, we've got the hiccup or singultus. Think of this as a temporary biological wiring glitch. A hiccup is a sudden spasm of your diaphragm muscle. As it forcefully sucks air in, the space between your vocal cords, the glottis, suddenly slams shut. That slam is what actually makes the hic sound. It's this ancient, mostly useless reflex in adults, though. Fun fact, babies actually practice this exact movement in the womb to prep their breathing muscles. Now, most hiccups are over in a few minutes, but sometimes that circuit gets stuck. Just consider the number 68. That represents the staggering number of years of the world's longest continuous hiccup, recorded by a man named Charles Osborne. 68 years. It's a rare extreme, obviously, but it really proves how persistent these nervous system loops can be. A sneeze or sternutation is an absolutely explosive event and one of your body's fastest defense mechanisms. It's triggered by the trigeminal nerve the second it detects an irritant in your nose. But sometimes, those nerves kind of cross wires with your visual system. That's why some people experience a photic sneeze reflex and violently sneeze just from stepping out into bright sunlight. Whether you're sneezing or coughing, the mechanical steps behind them are remarkably similar and highly coordinated. Step 1, a deep breath intake. Step 2, your throat closes and your muscles tighten, building up this massive pressure in your chest. Step 3, an explosive release. By trapping and suddenly releasing all that pressure, your body can literally blast out microscopic intruders at incredible speeds of 50 to 100 miles per hour. Now, when those same airways lose their tension at night, you get snoring. And this brilliantly illustrates how snoring is really just turbulent airflow. When you sleep, especially if you're on your back, the soft tissues in your throat and soft palate relax and sag. As air gets forced through that newly narrowed space, the tissues flutter like a flag in the wind. That creates the low, steady rumble that, let's be real, keeps your partner wide awake. Let's pivot to our third and final physical system, the musculoskeletal system. Section 5, snap, crackle, and pop. If you love cracking your knuckles, you're actually initiating a process called cavitation. Your joints are filled with synovial fluid. You can think of it like the body's natural motor oil. When you stretch the joint, the pressure inside drops incredibly fast. This sudden pressure drop causes the dissolved gases in the fluid to instantly form a bubble. That highly satisfying pop you hear, it's the exact moment that gas bubble forms right inside the joint space. And listen, we have got to bust a massive, long-standing myth right here, right now. Knuckle cracking does not cause arthritis. Dr. Donald Unger proved this when he conducted a legendary, undeniable 50-year self-experiment. He cracked the knuckles on his left hand every single day and left his right hand entirely alone. Half a century later, no arthritis in either hand. As long as there's no pain, that popping is perfectly safe. Moving into the final part of our explainer today. Section 6, when to seek help. So what does this all mean? Your body's noises are a brilliant, healthy symphony. But how do you actually know when a normal sound becomes a cry for help? The golden rule is this. If a pop, rumble, or burp is accompanied by pain, sudden swelling, or extreme longevity, like, say, a hiccup lasting more than 48 hours, that is your body's cue to go see a doctor. Otherwise, you should walk away marveling at the self-cleaning, self-regulating biological machine that you live in. So the next time your stomach growls in a dead silent room, ask yourself, is it embarrassing? Or is it just the sound of a masterpiece at work?